Yes, we like bubbles.
Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are going to use the basic skills that we have to create a short animation and turn it into our intro. As you know, we recently made our YouTube channel as well as our very first video. As you could imagine, we are still pretty new and trying to figure stuff out. But hey, as we grow, why not share our adventures with whoever wants to see it?
If you're wondering how we're doing this, well, it definitely helps having a background in graphic design, which gave me some basic knowledge as well as access to the Adobe software. But I'm still very much new to animation, motion graphics, and etc. So, as you can see, I am using Adobe Flash, and I will also be using Premiere Pro to finish it off. And I am speeding up the process so you don't fall asleep.
Many YouTubers want to start off strong and show their brand in the most attractive way possible. But, of course, it's not an easy process for many people. It can also be very expensive and time-consuming.
This is not a tutorial video to tell you what you need to click on, and you may have better ways of doing this, especially if you are an expert. We are just showing how we managed to put this together simply by experimenting, doing a little research, and putting in the time. So the design of our logo has already been completed. What I'm doing here is separating the logo into multiple components. And the idea we wanted to work on is to have each component come into their positions from different directions before the next phase. After all the components reach their original positions, the next phase would be to have everything shrink down into the middle of our canvas, showing the full logo. I also ran into a little problem here, as you can see, and I had a hard time figuring out why all the components suddenly started getting thrown around. I guess I had to make sure that the two phases are not linked together, so what I ended up doing was to separate the frames and shrinking everything afterward. But of course we wanted to have a bit more at the end than just the logo shrinking down into position. I thought about spinning it, sliding it, rolling it, and finally decided to add a little bit of a bounce instead. So you may have noticed I had to add a bunch of different frames to make it as smooth as possible. So pretty much mimicking the same movement of a bouncing ball where it would travel fast upwards, slow down, stop for a brief moment before falling back down the same way. Keep in mind there are many other similar softwares out there you can use, even free ones. You can look them up and see if they can provide you with what you need. So now we are in Premiere Pro, and what I'm doing here is adding a few sound effects to our little intro. So at this point, I'm pretty much adding a whoosh sound to each of the components as they move into position in the first phase. It was a little annoying trying to position them perfectly to match the video. I am also adding a little pop sound to finish it off as the logo comes back down into its final place.
And here is the final result. Now, of course, it's not the most advanced intro out there, but if you're just starting out, you can still stand out by creating something as simple as this. I hope everyone enjoyed this video and that if you're starting out on YouTube like us, you will decide to try and make your own intro and be inspired by how we did it. And of course, if you enjoyed the video or found it informative in any way, You can like and subscribe and expect much more content like this in the future.